For decades, Last of the Summer Wine brought laughter and warmth to television screens, charming audiences with its lovable characters and timeless humor. But while the show lives on in our memories, many of the beloved actors who brought it to life have sadly passed away. Today, we celebrate their incredible contributions and take a heartfelt look back at 20 Last of the Summer Wine stars we've lost. Peter Sallis as Clegg. Peter Sallis was 52 years old when he first stepped into the role of Norman Clegg in Last of the Summer Wine in 1973, a character he would bring to life for nearly 4 decades. Clegg, a gentle and somewhat timid man with a dry wit, often found himself reluctantly caught up in the misadventures of his more reckless friends. His quiet charm and deadpan humor made him a beloved presence in the series, anchoring the show with a sense of warmth and familiarity. Before becoming a household name, Sallis had built a solid career in television and film, with a diverse range of roles, including appearances in Doctor Who and classic Hammer horror films like The Curse of the Werewolf, 1961. However, one of his most iconic performances beyond Last of the Summer Wine was voicing Wallace in the Wallace and Gromit series, a role that introduced him to a whole new generation and earned widespread acclaim. He remained dedicated to acting well into his later years, leaving behind a remarkable legacy when he passed away from natural causes on June 2, 2017, at the age of 96. Kathy Staff as Nora Batty. Kathy Staff was 45 years old when she first appeared as the unforgettable Nora Batty in Last of the Summer Wine in 1973, a role she would make her own for 35 years. With her tightly curled hair, ever-present wrinkled stockings, and no-nonsense attitude, Nora was the embodiment of sharp-tongued Yorkshire resilience, constantly fending off the affections of her bumbling neighbor, Compo. Staff's ability to balance sternness with humor made Nora an icon of British television. Long before she became the face of Last of the Summer Wine, Staff had built a steady career in television, taking on various roles in soaps and dramas. One of her most significant turns came in Crossroads, where she played Doris Luke, a role that cemented her as a familiar face to millions. Though she briefly left Last of the Summer Wine after the passing of co-star Bill Owen, she eventually returned, proving her deep connection to the show and its legacy. She passed away on December 13, 2008, at the age of 80, after a battle with a brain tumor. Jane Freeman as Ivy. Jane Freeman was 38 years old when she first stepped into the role of Ivy in Last of the Summer Wine in 1973. A character she would play for nearly 4 decades. As the no-nonsense cafe owner, Ivy was fiery, sharp-tongued, and often exasperated by her husband Sid and the antics of the town's mischievous regulars. But beneath her stern exterior was a heart of gold, making her one of the show's most beloved figures. Before her rise to fame, Freeman built a solid career in theater, working with the Birmingham Rep and honing her craft in numerous stage productions. Beyond Last of the Summer Wine, one of her notable film appearances was in Scrubbers, 1982, a gritty drama that showcased her versatility beyond comedy. She remained active in acting throughout her life, delivering performances that resonated with warmth and strength. On March 9, 2017, Freeman passed away at the age of 81 after a battle with lung cancer, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and resilience. Bill Owen as Compo. Bill Owen was 59 years old when he first brought the lovable rogue Compo Simonite to life in Last of the Summer Wine in 1973, a role that would define his career for the next 26 years. As the scruffy, mischievous pensioner with an eye for adventure, and an even keener eye for Nora Batty, Compo was the heart of the show, always up for a stunt, a laugh, or a scheme gone wrong. His journey to this iconic role was a long one, beginning in the 1940s with small film appearances before he became a familiar face in British cinema, particularly in early Carry On films. A turning point in his career came with Oh Lucky Man, 1973, where he showcased his depth as an actor, but it was Last of the Summer Wine that cemented his place in television history. He continued filming Last of the Summer Wine even as his health declined, refusing to let illness keep him from the character he loved. On July 12, 1999, he passed away at the age of 85 from pancreatic cancer, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and warmth that would endure for generations. Jean Alexander as Auntie Wainwright. Jean Alexander was 62 years old when she first stepped into the role of Auntie Wainwright in Last of the Summer Wine in 1988, bringing to life the shrewd, money-minded shopkeeper who could charm, or intimidate, customers into buying just about anything. Though Auntie Wainwright was a minor character at first, Alexander's sharp comedic timing and unmistakable presence quickly turned her into a fan favorite, keeping her in the role until the show's final season in 2010. Before Last of the Summer Wine, she was already a household name in Britain thanks to her legendary portrayal of Hilda Ogden in Coronation Street, a role she played for 23 years. It was Coronation Street that marked a turning point in her career, earning her a BAFTA nomination and cementing her reputation as one of television's finest character actresses. She retired in 2012, ending an extraordinary 6-decade career. After celebrating her 90th birthday, she was taken ill and passed away 3 days later, on October 14, 2016, from complications related to pneumonia. Jean Ferguson as Marina. Jean Ferguson was 40 years old when she first appeared as Marina in Last of the Summer Wine in 1985, a role that would define much of her career and entertain audiences for 25 years. With her peroxide blonde hair, short skirts, and flirtatious nature, Marina was the bubbly and naive counterpoint to Howard, the nervous, hen-pecked husband constantly sneaking around to see her. Ferguson's comedic talents made the character an enduring favorite, appearing in 216 episodes until the series ended in 2010. Before her time in Last of the Summer Wine, Ferguson had built a solid career in television and theater, with early appearances in Crossroads and All Creatures Great and Small. A major turning point came in the late 1990s when she portrayed Hilda Baker in the one-woman stage show She Knows You Know, earning a Laurence Olivier Award nomination. Though she spent her final years in London, she remained beloved by fans of British comedy. She passed away on November 14, 2019, at her home, following a short illness. Juliette Kaplan as Pearl. Juliette Kaplan was 45 years old when she first stepped into the role of Pearl Sibshaw in Last of the Summer Wine in 1985, a character she would play with razor-sharp wit and steely determination for the next 25 years. As the ever-watchful wife of the wayward Howard, Pearl was the picture of no-nonsense authority, always one step ahead of her husband's feeble attempts at secrecy. Kaplan's performance made her a fan favorite, perfectly balancing humor with a quiet strength that kept Howard and audiences on their toes. Before her success in Last of the Summer Wine, Kaplan worked steadily in British television, appearing in Brookside, EastEnders, and London's Burning. One of her notable later roles came in Coronation Street in 2015, where she played Agnes Tinker, further showcasing her versatility. A lifelong performer, Kaplan brought depth and charisma to every role she took on. She passed away on October 10, 2019, at her home in Kent after a battle with cancer. Robert Fyfe as Howard. Robert Fyfe was 54 years old when he first brought the lovably hapless Howard to life in Last of the Summer Wine in 1985, a role that would define his career for the next 25 years. As the timid yet persistent would-be romancer, Howard spent much of his time scheming to escape his watchful wife, Pearl, in pursuit of his forbidden love, Marina, usually with disastrous yet hilarious results. Fyfe's impeccable comedic timing and subtle physical humor made Howard one of the show's most enduring and endearing characters. Before Last of the Summer Wine, Fyfe had already built a solid career in British television and film, with roles in Z Cars, The Gentle Touch, and The Return of Sherlock Holmes. His later career saw him appear in major films like The 51st State and Cloud Atlas, proving his versatility beyond comedy. Sadly, he passed away on September 15, 2021, at the age of 90 due to kidney disease. Brian Wilde as Foggy. Brian Wilde was 48 years old when he first took on the role of the stubborn, yet lovable Foggy Dewhurst in Last of the Summer Wine in 1975. Known for his dry wit and no-nonsense demeanor, Foggy often tried to take charge of the group's antics, despite being the most unlikely of leaders. His character's constant bickering with Compo and Clegg created the perfect balance of humor and heart in the long-running sitcom. Wilde's career, which spanned over 4 decades, had earlier seen success in the role of Mr. Barrowclough in the classic British series Porridge, where his gentle, often baffled demeanor earned him recognition and praise. But it was Last of the Summer Wine that made him a household name in the UK, securing his place in comedy history. Sadly, he passed away on March 20, 2008, at the age of 80, following a fall earlier that year. His death marked the end of an era in British comedy, and his legacy lives on in the many beloved roles he brought to life on screen. Frank Thornton as Truly. Frank Thornton was 54 years old when he first appeared as the slightly pompous yet well-meaning Truly Truelove in Last of the Summer Wine in 1979. Truly, a character who could be overly serious and self-important at times, found himself hilariously entangled in the bumbling escapades of his elderly companions, providing a perfect foil to their wild, carefree antics. This role, which he played for over 2 decades, became one of his most beloved performances, showcasing his impeccable timing and charm. However, Frank Thornton had already made a name for himself years earlier as Captain Peacock in the iconic sitcom Are You Being Served?, where his portrayal of the stiff upper-lip department store manager became a defining character of British television. As the years passed, he continued to grace the small screen with his memorable presence until his death on March 16, 2013, at the age of 92. Peacefully passing away at his home in London from natural causes. Gordon Warby as Wesley. Gordon Warby was 48 years old when he first appeared as Wesley Pegden in Last of the Summer Wine in 1982. Known for his portrayal of the quirky, would-be inventor and tinkering mechanic, Wesley, Warby brought a charmingly scruffy and down-to-earth energy to the character. Wesley's humorous escapades often involved his strained relationship with his wife Edie and his never-ending attempts to invent bizarre contraptions that rarely worked as intended. Warby, who had no formal acting training, had initially worked as a painter and decorator before pursuing acting part-time. His career truly took off when he impressed the show's director, Alan J.W. Bell, who cast him in the role of Wesley. Over the years, Warby appeared in various television programs such as Heartbeat and Coronation Street, but it was his role as Wesley that became most iconic. Tragically, just as Last of the Summer Wine was preparing for its 24th series, Warby passed away from lung cancer on May 18, 2002, at the age of 68, leaving a legacy of warmth and humor behind. Burt Kwouk as Entwistle. Burt Kwouk was 55 years old when he joined Last of the Summer Wine as Entwistle, the eccentric, somewhat grumpy character who became a staple in the later seasons of the show. Known for his quiet yet commanding presence, Entwistle often found himself entangled in the comedic mishaps of his fellow characters, providing a perfect balance of straight-laced humor amid the chaos around him. While he gained considerable recognition for his role in the sitcom, Kwouk's career had already spanned many memorable roles, particularly as Kato in the Pink Panther films, where his martial arts skills and impeccable comedic timing made him an unforgettable part of the franchise. Tragically, after a long and successful career, Burt Kwouk passed away on May 24, 2016, at the age of 85, due to cancer at the Marie Curie Hospice in Hampstead, leaving behind a legacy that will be cherished by fans and colleagues alike. Tom Owen as Tom. Tom Owen was 51 years old when he first appeared in Last of the Summer Wine as Tom Simonite, the son of Compo, played by his real-life father, Bill Owen. In the series, Tom's character exudes a mix of earnestness and endearing awkwardness, attempting to carry on the legacy of his late father while dealing with the quirky antics of the other characters. Tom Owen's journey as an actor spanned several decades, marked by diverse roles in both television and theater. He initially trained as a stage manager before making his television debut in the 1960s, followed by notable roles in shows like Z Cars and Upstairs Downstairs. However, it was his role as Tom Simonite that truly tied him to the legacy of his father. Tom took over the role after Bill's passing, and his heartfelt portrayal of Compo's son became a key part of the show's later years. Outside of Last of the Summer Wine, Owen appeared in films like The Bromley Boys and the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. Tragically, Tom Owen passed away on November 7, 2022, at the age of 73, leaving behind a rich legacy of work in the entertainment industry. Danny O'Dea as Eli. Danny O'Dea, born on December 22, 1911, was 75 years old when he first appeared in Last of the Summer Wine as Eli Duckett, the lovable yet long-sighted character whose humorous antics and interactions with the other characters made him a memorable part of the show. Eli, with his quirky personality and distinctive way of seeing the world, added a unique charm to the series, often bringing warmth and laughter to the ensemble. O'Dea's career spanned over 8 decades, and while his portrayal of Eli in the sitcom marked one of his most notable roles, his career began much earlier in the world of music halls and variety shows. He worked with legendary names such as Arthur Askey and Les Dawson, eventually making appearances in films like Rita, Sue, and Bob 2, and performing in pantomimes. Tragically, O'Dea passed away on April 16, 2003, at the age of 91 in Hartshead, Yorkshire, leaving behind a lasting legacy in comedy. Josephine Tewson as Miss Davenport. Josephine Tewson, born on February 26, 1931, was 72 years old when she began portraying Miss Lucinda Davenport in Last of the Summer Wine from 2003 to 2010. Known for her distinctive comedic style, Miss Davenport was a no-nonsense, slightly prickly character who often found herself at odds with the eccentric group of elderly gentlemen in the series. Tewson's illustrious career spanned over 6 decades, with a range of roles in popular British sitcoms and dramas. She initially found fame as the long-suffering Elizabeth Liz Warden in Keeping Up Appearances, which became a defining role for her. Throughout her career, she gained recognition for her sharp wit and impeccable timing, becoming a beloved figure in British comedy. Tewson's final years were marked by her one-woman show, Still Keeping Up Appearances, which she toured across the UK until her retirement in 2019. Sadly, Josephine Tewson passed away on August 18, 2022, at the age of 91 in Denville Hall, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and memorable performances. Stephen Lewis as Smiler. Stephen Lewis, born on December 17, 1926, was 61 years old when he first appeared as Clem Smiler Hemingway in Last of the Summer Wine, a role he played for 17 years, from 1988 to 2005. Smiler, a lovable but somewhat down-on-his-luck character, quickly became a fan favorite for his endearing nature and constant run-ins with misfortune, making him a key figure in the quirky comedy series. Lewis's career journey spanned across stage, film, and television, with his breakthrough role coming in 1969 as the grumpy but lovable Inspector Cyril Blakey Blake in On the Buses. His portrayal of Blakey, complete with heavy makeup to make him look older, was one of his most iconic roles, lasting through 3 films and multiple spin-offs. Over the years, Lewis became known for his sharp comedic timing and unmistakable presence, appearing in numerous TV sitcoms and films, including Sparrows Can't Sing and The Magnificent Seven Deadly Sins. Sadly, Stephen Lewis passed away on August 12, 2015, at the age of 88, in a nursing home in Wanstead, London, leaving behind a rich legacy of laughter and beloved characters. Dora Bryan as Roz. Dora Bryan, born on February 7, 1923, was 77 years old when she portrayed Roz in Last of the Summer Wine from 2000 to 2005. Roz, a character full of cheeky charm and a little bit of sharp wit, added a delightful spark to the show, playing a no-nonsense aunt with an eye for mischief. Ryan's career, spanning 6 decades, showcased her incredible versatility as an actress, from her early-stage performances to her breakthrough in film. One of her defining moments came in 1961 when she won the BAFTA Award for Best British Actress for her role in A Taste of Honey, which firmly established her as a leading figure in British cinema. Her later years saw her grace screens with appearances in Absolutely Fabulous and Dinner Ladies, but it was Last of the Summer Wine that marked her final iconic role. Dora Bryan passed away on July 23, 2014, at the age of 91, leaving behind a rich legacy of comedic brilliance and heartfelt performances. June Whitfield as Nellie, Dame June Rosemary Whitfield, born on November 11, 1925, was 80 years old when she joined Last of the Summer Wine in 2005, bringing her sharp wit and endearing charm to the role of Nellie. Known for her versatile career, Whitfield's big break came with the BBC radio comedy Take It From Here, and she gained further fame through her role in Terry and June, a sitcom she starred in alongside Terry Scott for over a decade. Her performances, whether in the Carry On films or as the lovable mother in Absolutely Fabulous, left an indelible mark on British comedy. Whitfield passed away on December 29, 2018, at 93, due to natural causes, but her legacy lives on through the many characters she brought to life, each filled with warmth, humor, and a touch of mischief. Though these beloved actors are no longer with us, their legacy lives on through the laughter and joy they brought to Last of the Summer Wine. Their performances continue to warm hearts, reminding us of the timeless charm of the show. Who was your favorite character from the series? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more nostalgic TV memories.